We have the switchbacks. Most fun part about the hike in. Grandpa. This climb is the worst part. Videoing on it sucks too. Love you. Just made it to the fork. Only half mile to a mile left. We got another creek crossing. It's actually some water in this creek this year. It's the first time I've seen this creek running in a few years.
Yeah.
Creek is on our left. We're making the final push. How bad the mosquitoes are, this is how bad. Pretty gnarly.
I've been coming into Lillian Lake probably I think since about 1989, so a little over 30 years, give or take.
17.
This is my second year up here.
So I've been coming in here to Lillian Lake for 19 years.
I want to say 31.
20.
This is my first year.
I've been coming to Lillian for about, I think this is my 13th year.
Lillian means to me, it's a place to escape the hustle and bustle of life and just get my mind off things and have days and sometimes weeks to just decompress, get away from regular life that's just stressful.
You can just get away from your real life and just relax.
Well, Lillian is something that's special. I brought all my kids here as soon as they turned 4. I have memories of my dad here. And what Lillian means to me, it's each year I know it's a few days I get to spend with family where there's not really many distractions except for mosquitoes.
Lillian was an old wooden ship. But no, it's a good spot to come up with family and bring new friends up every now and then. It's a good time.
You know, it's a good experience to see, you know, how, you know, the family works, and, you know, it's such a big tradition that I'm, you know, lucky to be a part of, and, you know, hopefully be a part of again for years to come.
For me, Lillian is a few days each year that I look forward to spending up at a beautiful mountain lake with really, you know, great friends and family, and it's just a great time to sort of get away from a fast-paced life and slow down a little bit, unplug, and just relax, fish, sit around the campfire, all that good stuff.
My favorite memory from this trip definitely is climbing Sing Peak. So I've been wanting to do that ever since I was 7 or 8 years old, and I finally did it this year. And it was an absolute blast. My legs hurt, but it was absolutely worth it.
This trip? Probably going out on the boat and catching fish.
From this trip, well, I will remember the mosquitoes were bad. Even though I didn't go to it, seeing the pictures from the hike and the waterfall was pretty cool. But I'll remember hanging out with Max, fishing in the boat.
I crushed a fat nap today, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
My favorite memory is probably just making jokes around the campfire at night and just messing around.
Probably my favorite memory from this trip, this is Dylan Green's first trip into Lillian Lake, and he's been dating Cameron for a while, and they seem to be getting pretty close, and I was excited to have him up here and to show him kind of the great time that we have up at Lillian Lake.
I always like to see the stars, you know. I've never seen the Milky Way before, so that was kind of cool to see, and of course being eaten by mosquitoes is always a realization.
One of my favorite memories of all time is when we were all lined on the bank fishing the first night here, and it was me and Keith. I think my dad was here and all the boys, and I caught the first 9 fish. Nobody else caught any, so of course that's always a favorite memory of mine. But probably the funnest trips were when we would hire the pack station, and certainly weren't roughing it. We had big tents and air mattresses, coolers full of eggs, tri-tip, and it was nice being up here and having a lot of the comforts of home. And then just the great memories that we have of being up here with my dad and the boys as they're growing up. Kyle's been coming in every year since he was about 6 years old. And I know Keith's boys, Keaton, Max, and Tristan, they've been coming in since they were even younger. And we literally haven't missed a year coming in for 30 years.
Bringing Pa up here and having him make pancakes and eggs for breakfast.
It's probably not a good memory, but the epic mosquitoes that are here this trip is just, yeah, it's quite not fun.
My favorite memory of all time, it's actually in a meadow over to our left. Is the first place that I ever used a digital camera. I took my grandpa's digital camera, and my cousin Kyle and I, we chased this marmot around for about an hour and gave my grandpa about 1,000 pictures of it. And that was the first time that I really ever held a digital camera, and as you can see, I fell in love with it.
One time we hiked in and set up one tent, and I think there was like 8 of us, and it was an old tent of Uncle Keith's, and it started hailing, and it pierced a bunch of holes in the tent that we were huddled in.
That's a toughie for me. There's too many. I mean, I remember T-Bone getting eaten up by mosquitoes and having to wear one of these guys when the mosquitoes weren't that bad. Maxwell waking up and his eyes swollen shut. And then, you know, just some, me and Keaton recreated a picture we took when he was like 4. Besides that, waking up, having Pa cooking scrambled eggs, bacon, and pancakes, always a good time. We had one year where the tree fell, we had the rainstorm, the hail. I mean, bunch of good times, good memories. You know, Pa, we're gonna try to find a place around Courtright and get you there so you can kind of have a close to Lillian experience. Well, Pa, I know this is one of your favorite places and that you're kind of, you know, kind of bummed that you're not able to get up here anymore. You know, just know that when we're up here, we think about you a lot and remember a lot of the good times that we had when you were here with us. And obviously, we wish you could be here with us. But just know that when we're up here, even without you, we still think about you a lot.